Yo, people, what is up? This your boy John, and we are live. Brent, what's happening?
I feel this is like a new experience for me because, like,
You're on the wrong side.
yeah, I'm like wanting to push stuff, and really, if I push anything, nothing really happens today. So this is you. And first of all, let's get it right. You are not, John Lawson or whatever. You're. Do I have to do it? Do I have to? Let me look into the camera.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
Let me look into the camera and say who he really is. He's not just John Lawson.
He is.
He is the cold one, the bold one. He is John Cold Rice Lawson. Now that's how you do it, man.
Yeah, that's right. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. I get it, though. I get it.
There it is. All right.
It's more good stuff. It's more good stuff. So I'm going to do a lead in just because you guys have to understand that Brent and I have been friends for like a decade. And the first thing that we, definitely gelled on was the fact that we were both big Prince fans, right? And we've been doing these shows, around Amazon and other things before even that. And we always said we wanted to do a Prince show. And absolutely. I don't know if this is the Prince show, but at least it is for today.
Absolutely.
Right?
With good reason.
With good reason. What's your good reason?
Well, I mean, just let's see, how long? Only a couple of days ago that I got this package on my, they left it at my garage door, and that thing was heavy. I didn't know what it was because I wasn't really expecting. I didn't know when this thing was going to come because I ordered the Sign of the Times, remake, rebroadcast, whatever you want to call that. So long ago, it was like 3 months ago. It was like the pre-order.
Right.
And so I knew it was, I was hoping it was going to be coming shortly. And then you put something on Facebook, all happy and stuff and talk about, look at this. There's this special kind of box with the Prince symbol on it. I was like, that's cool, but where's mine? So I just so happened to be, at my door, chilling. And then I saw the delivery guy leaving and I was like, what? What's up? So I went out and I saw this box and I just went to pick up the box thinking, oh, it's probably like a little nice couple pound kind of thing. That sucker was like 20 something pounds, man. It was heavy. So immediately I was like, what the hell is this? And then because it was in like boxes upon a box upon a box, the outside box had nothing on it. But when you opened that box up and you saw the inside box, that's when
you knew what it was.
Kind of happy. Yes, that's when I was like, oh, this is it.
You knew what it was.
So yeah, this was what was in mine. It was like, see, I went with the LP version. And I got, let's see, it's like 6 things, but each of these 6 things has at least 2 actual LPs in it, and one of them has 3. So that's how you get 13 LPs.
I mean, because the original Sign of the Times was 2 album set.
It was a double LP.
So each one of these are double LP cases.
Actually, so this is the actual, what do they call this thing?
Remastered.
Remastered. So this is the actual remastered Sign of the Times. But
all right, open that up. Let me see.
Okay. So let me open this up. Oh, actually,
you haven't opened it yet.
No, it's one of these where it just has 2 things in it.
Okay.
And they have
Oops. Oh, there's the words. Yeah.
And there's
it's very much like the original.
Right. And this is the original remastered Sign of the Times.
Right. Now, before you go and put that too far away, I want you to bring that picture out again with Kat, and I'll just talk about that in a minute. But go ahead, just put it away.
Oh, okay.
We'll talk about that. Now, go ahead. What else you going to show me?
All right. So then a live.
Yep.
which
Now,
has
here's an interesting thing about that live version. Where's it at? It's in, I can't say it.
Utrecht.
Yeah, whatever. So the deal was they wanted to include the actual movie in there, but they couldn't get the deal done so that they could get the actual movie version of the concert. So they took that one.
So look at this. This thing opens up. I don't want to drop anything. It has a 4-panel open up.
Oh, so there's another panel to it?
No, let's see. One, two,
okay, one, two,
three.
Three, and then on the back sides.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Beautiful. And there's 3 different pieces of vinyl in that.
Okay. That's cool.
And here's the vault tracks. Wait a minute, let me get. So I believe this is vault tracks 1.
Yep. Got it. 2.
Here's 2. Right there. And then 3. So there's 3 LP. Actually, it's more like 6 LPs because there's 2 pieces of vinyl in each of those things. And then singles and additional edits. Yeah. And that opens up. Oh, see, this is cool. Now this is.
Let's see that. Everybody goes,
Yeah, that's nice. That's really nice. And then the last piece, which is what everybody got, I believe, that ordered this, is the book.
The book.
Now this is the front of the book. Can't really see much of it. You could actually see it. You can see it, but the back is really. Look at all that nice color. Look at all those images. It's just cool stuff, man.
It's awesome.
And I got, it opens up and there's actually a DVD in there. So you get all of the, the LPs, but they also give you a DVD that has all the same stuff on it, just digital format.
Yes, Garrett, it is awesome, bro. If you don't have this, you need to grab it. So he just showed you the LP version, and I got the CD version. And the deal was, I was very surprised by my box because I knew I had gotten the CDs. And when it came, I was like, did they send me the LPs or something? And so, but the big difference between that one and the one he just showed you is at the back of my book, you've got the DVD. Yeah. And then if you turn the page, you got all of the CDs.
Nice.
Just like, he's got all the LPs. So it made for a really good package. I did on the unboxing, all the pictures and the imagery inside of the book is absolutely amazing. The liner notes by Lenny Kravitz and
love what Lenny Kravitz said.
Yeah. And but what killed me was the lyrics were handwritten for the songs.
That was really cool.
Trying to find that. Yeah, it was just that is worth the price of admission to see him working these tracks, changing words, and in his own handwriting and on yellowed pages. It's absolutely spectacular to have this piece of memory that I will cherish. This is something that you will absolutely cherish if you purchase this. It's worth every penny. Even if you're not the greatest of Prince, big time fan, it's worth every penny. In my opinion, they really, really went above and beyond. He held a surprise show at noon the next day at a small club near Fenway Park when he played Worcester. Saw him there. Yeah, cool. Did you see the small club show too, Garrett? I saw Prince at here in Atlanta at the Opera House for his One Night Alone tour, and the next night he did a private show for the club or for the fan club in not the opera. Yeah, it's opera.
Was
in
it
the opera?
That was really the last set of concerts he did, wasn't it?
No, this was One Night Alone tour, not
Not
piano
the piano. Yeah, but you went to that too, didn't you?
I did go to the piano and microphone show too.
Right.
Absolutely. Which was last times he performed, crazy. But absolutely, the deal was we went to the show that night, the one I'm talking about, and when we went to the after show, we thought the after show was going to be after that first night concert. He was playing 2 nights. They canceled the first night and said you can come to the second night after show, which I'm so glad they canceled because I had time to reprise. I don't know how he does these 3-hour shows after doing a 2-hour show, but literally he and the band did 3 hours. My ears were bleeding, it was so loud. We
Bleeding.
were on the front row.
Bleeding with delight.
It was bleeding with delight. But I remember, my husband did not put earplugs in. We forgot the earplugs. We had them for the concert, forgot them for the after party show. And I went in the bathroom and got some tissue and put it in my ears. And I didn't miss a note, but the next 3 days, his ears were ringing.
I can believe that. Because one thing we know about Prince was he was a stickler to make sure the sound was perfect.
Yes.
Whenever he played. Because he wanted people to hear, or at least come close to hearing what he heard. We'll never be able to hear what he heard because he created this stuff, and he made it for us, but he made it, and he wanted us to hear it the way he envisioned it being heard too. That's killer. I mean, when you think about all the talent this guy had, I mean, playing all the different music instruments, singing, doing the writing it, producing it. He also had a role in. Now he had sound engineers, but he was a craftsman about how it should sound to us. In addition to creating it, and that takes the cake when you think about it. He knew every aspect of making music, and pretty much was genius at every aspect of making music.
Yeah, absolutely. But just to give you guys a whole lot of what Brent's meaning there, in terms of what he wanted you to hear, here's all the tracks that you're getting here. I don't know how many there are. What was it, 96 new ones?
Something like that.
Something
it's
like
an
that.
Unbelievable amount of vaulted music that none of us had heard.
Yeah.
But just think about most of this music was made in a really small time frame when you think about it.
Yeah, a small period of his life, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean some of the songs I remember, like when Crystal Ball came out.
Oh, say hi to Sherry.
Oh, hello. She's probably even a bigger fan than we are because she got some stuff that I'm like.
Yeah, I'm telling you, we got to bring Sherry on the next episode.
Yeah, because she got some stuff. It's like, damn. That. But
can anyone cover a Prince song and sound great?
No.
I disagree. I disagree. I know one Prince song that the cover is better than the original.
Okay.
I Feel For You by Shaka Khan. I really believe it was better than the original. I get it. It's a different song completely, but I really enjoyed her version.
Okay, so I too like that song, but I really liked it because of Shaka Khan. I mean,
yes, absolutely.
I mean, and Shaka, you could tell that Prince was a big fan of Shaka Khan because we all know that they, eventually ended up collaborating on her album for NPG Records. So he was a big fan of hers to begin with. So that's acceptable. I mean, that's a good one.
I mean, come on, seriously though, her run. Right there after the break. Yeah, it's tight.
Good. Look, you're never going to hear me diss a Shaka Khan.
Yeah, I know. You're not going to diss it, of course not. But I was like, wow, that was definitely good. I mean, there's been some decent ones too. I mean, I'm just going to say decent ones. I mean, I like Cyndi Lauper's version.
Yeah, Time After Time was actually pretty cool.
Not Time After
No, not
Time.
Time After. Not Time After Time. Oh, it was the one. It was the one off of When You Were Mine.
When You Were Mine.
Yeah, off of Dirty Minds. Yeah.
Dirty Minds.
No,
yeah.
she once again it's like it doesn't even sound like a Prince, the one that he did. She made it her own, which I think if you're gonna do that, if you're gonna try to
try to
do something different.
Don't try to emulate him.
Don't do that.
Because you can't,
No, that was good. That was I will say this, although I think I heard her version before I heard his version. Nothing compares to you. That's a classic.
Yeah.
That's a classic.
Honestly, the original is a family song.
Right.
Right.
It was a family. Yeah.
When she did it, it was like, to me, it was her redoing the family song. And
right.
I loved the family version. And I didn't like that she was ripping it off. But okay. I think it was more, I think she did a great job. I think it was more of me just being like pissed that she would do that more than anything.
And then we heard his version, which was
I don't even hear hers anymore.
Yeah, his version is great. That's what I love about the Prince YouTube channel. They drip out some really good stuff, and they broke that one out. I was like, man, now that I really wish I had heard that way back in the day, because the family one was nowhere near as good as that.
And I'll give you something, Garrett, because you're talking about his songwriting and how exceptional he was for writing songs for others. And on this, super box set, literally within a week, he wrote like 4 or 5 tracks for other artists. And one of them has become one of my favorite on here. It's what is it? As I Want to Be Your Man, or I Need a Man. Yeah, I Need a Man. And that song he actually wrote for Bonnie Raitt. And him and Bonnie were about to sign to Paisley Park when she ended up signing to the mother company, wherever she went to. I don't think it was Warner, but somebody else. But anyway, that track, when you hear that, I Need a Man, that was for her. A couple of other tracks were written around that same time for other artists. And I was listening to, if you haven't started listening, guys, the Prince podcast. It's the original Prince podcast. And I think episode 6 of Sign of the Times, or 5 or 6, I can't remember. But they were talking to one of his engineers, and he literally came in, and in a week's time, just every day, new tape, new song for somebody else. He was actually in a different character.
And that was that Susan Rogers?
No, it was actually the guy that worked with Susan.
Okay.
And he said that he and Susan used to literally have to take naps on the couch.
Take shifts.
Yeah. And he said that he said Prince rarely drank coffee. But he said, around 10 or 11 o'clock, if he said, hey, bring me a cup of coffee, you knew it was going to be 4 more hours.
Well, at least you didn't ask for some starfish to go with the coffee. So.
No starfish. And of course, more things from that. What was the original title of that song?
Oh, well, I forget. It was not that. It was something completely.
It was Starfish and Pee Pee.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that goes along with remember what Vanity's original name was supposed to be?
Vagina.
Yeah, so that's
JJ.
I'm kind of glad that she put her foot down on that.
Yeah, I'm sure she probably is too. Because who wants to be remembered forever?
Nah,
anyway,
I'm not going to say
anything tacky.
The Bonnie Raitt thing also. Remember on Emancipation, he did a remake of her song "I Can't Make You Love Me," and I talk about a beautiful remake, which I think is I like that better than the original. Sorry, Bonnie, but you could tell when Prince had respect for another artist.
Yeah,
like him and Stevie Nicks. They what was the song that he helped
17?
her with?
No, was it 17?
No, it was one of her hit records. I can't remember. And she actually helped him with. didn't she help him with or give him some idea that eventually turned into Purple Rain or something like that?
Now you got me stuck on her.
Yeah, go check it out. There was some collaboration on both ends, and then then he did something with Kate Bush. Remember Kate Bush?
I remember Kate Bush. Yeah.
I mean, she had some really good songs too.
Stand back.
Yeah, that's it. Stand back. That she asked him to take a look or check out the thing, and he like the next day he sent her back like a completely rearranged music score or something like that. And he did the same thing with Kate Bush. There's a song on her Red Shoe album. It's called Why Do I Love You or something like that. And she was just kind of sent it to him wanting to just get a little flavor. He sent it back with a completely different rearrangement, but it worked. I mean, and you could go on YouTube and you can hear the original and you can hear the one that has been Prince. Look,
my boy John's throwing out a whole lot of stuff. All for Camille, Coffee, One of Us, Bet You by Golly Why.
Oh yeah, that was on the Emancipation one too. Bet You by Golly Why, that was good. And the one that was the original first release off of Emancipation was it was another remake that he did. It wasn't Bet You by Golly Why. It was another one from this. Oh, I wish I could remember. I'll think of it. But yeah, and then think about the time period like between 84 to 88. You got the Sheila E. first initial album, and he pretty much did all the music on that. And of course, the big song was "Glamorous Life." He did the songs for the time basically for Purple Rain. He was also
no, excuse me. He did all the time songs.
Well, I know he did. I mean, he did all the actual music playing and the writing on the first three ones. But I mean, we do give credit to the boys on the Purple Rain. The one with Jungle Love and Jungle Love and the Bird and all that kind of stuff. So he was doing all the stuff for Sheila E., The Time, Vanity Six, Apollonia 6 that came after that. The family, and then there was some other stuff that was going on. Yeah, Madhouse, and then he was doing stuff for like the Manic Monday song for whatever that girl group was, the Bangles. That was around that same time. Sheena Easton had some stuff going on. What is it? I used to feel that way. Not when she put all in. See, you put a lot. Oh, of course. No, we're not going to do no compare and contrast.
It's not, absolutely not. No hate. No hate. Matter of fact, those two played together at the Obama White House last hurrah party. And it was a surprise for everybody. And it wasn't supposed to get out until Blabbermouth, what's his name? The Reverend.
Oh, Al Sharpton?
Yeah, Al Sharpton. Absolutely. On an interview, he's like coming out. He's like, "Oh man, we just saw Prince and Stevie Wonder." And there was nobody was supposed to know there was even an event.
Well, if you go on YouTube and just do a search on Prince and Stevie Wonder, there's this really nice. It's like a 10-minute video clip of when Stevie Wonder was playing, and then Prince comes out and they play like Superstition together. It's really cool. And Sheila E. is playing on the drum. It was really cool.
And did you hear the story behind that?
No.
Okay, so Conan O'Brien was backstage too, and there was buzz that Prince might come out, right? So he's standing right next to Prince, and Prince is jamming and everything, and Conan's like, "So you going out, right?" And Prince was like, "No." And like literally 2 seconds later, he gets the guitar and walks out on stage. And he was like, that was so Prince because he didn't want to spoil.
That is.
But yeah, Conan O'Brien just talked about that. Guys, here's one thing that if you haven't, and I don't know why I'm pumping this so hard, but if you haven't gotten this box set, you really should. I'm going to show it one more time. You get a whole lot in it and a lot of love from it. But I want to show you the evolution of box sets real quick, because the first box set that they did was Purple Rain. All right. They did that in 2017. They did the reissue, remastered it, and then they threw an extra CD and a DVD in it. Right. So you got a triple fold on that. And it was like, oh, that's cute. And I really was excited about that because it did give you, let me see, a bunch of vaulted tracks. It gave you like 11 tracks from the vault at that time. Then they came out with 1999, November last year. And that was definitely a joy to open because you got, 6 CDs or 5 CDs and a DVD, right? Is that
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
And a booklet and all that, and great packaging too. I mean, I'm showing you the backside. But, when I got that in the mail, it was like, wow, look at this. And then to get the book and the CDs this time, it's just like you're seeing the evolution of going from, this to all of that. It's pretty exciting.
Well, I know you. I think you either wrote this somewhere, maybe it's on Facebook. So, but I read it. I was like, yeah. I started thinking about it. Yeah, he's right. The way that they're handling this, it feels like they are following the spirit of what Prince would have wanted and how he would have wanted this to come out.
Possibly.
Instead of trying to just throw it out there, getting out there quick, trying to make a quick buck or something.
I think they have mishandled, they mishandled Michael Jackson horribly, in my opinion, and I've got Michael Jackson Ultimate Collection. It's fantastic to hear the music, but they let it all out. It just doesn't have any, it doesn't have a story around it. And to pull this together, put concert footage at the time, only pull out the music that goes with the time, that this was actually being done. And then to interview the people that were the engineers and the producers, or not producers, he's a producer, but the musicians and stuff it's just really given me so much. Because I'll admit, I mean, when it came to, maybe the first year of listening to his music, it was sad. It was enjoyable, but it was laborious sometimes, and now I just, especially after listening to this version of Sign of the Times over and over, the Super Deluxe, I'm just on fire, man, in brand new love with the music of Prince. It's awesome.
I think, you touched on a couple of different things there that are really important. And I'm not meaning to compare and contrast the individuals that are Prince and Michael Jackson, but like you said, kind of the way that after they've gone, how their musical legacy has been handled, I guess. It almost feels like there is no musical legacy for Michael Jackson in the way that they've handled
when
it.
He stopped.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't feel like the people who were supposed to handle it, they just dropped the ball, man. It just does not feel like, as much as that dude did, it feels like it, like you said, it just ended when he left us. That's what it feels like.
I'm gonna get it.
Yeah, but whereas with what the folks that have been responsible for Prince, and maybe it's because it feels like the people that are handling it for Prince, you feel like it's not just being done for a transaction. It feels like they cared about his legacy, they cared about him, they cared about his music, they care about the people who were involved in all that. I mean, and they took that spirit into what they're doing. And like you said, they've improved on how they rolled it out, from the first one to the next one to this one. And that shows that there's a caring that goes way beyond just how much is my check going to be for doing it.
Now, don't get me wrong. I want to give Michael's legacy. I mean, dude. So here's the Michael Jackson Ultimate box set, right? Oops, something fell out of it. All right. So it's the Ultimate Collection. It's 5 CDs. It's well packaged. It came with a book. It's definitely a great package, but I
It's
think
just
it
a
was.
package. It's not it doesn't feel like it's a living thing.
Yeah, I just
you
felt
were,
like you said, it was rushed to get to market. It was rushed to get to market.
but think about what you said about the official podcast and the interviews and the discussion and bringing in the people who helped them pull it out. And now I know that Michael Jackson died 7 years before Prince did, and a lot of that, a lot of the social media stuff wasn't really that big at the time, not as big as it is
That's
today.
true too. That's true too.
So you gotta put it in that
You got to put
context.
that in perspective. Because I mean, he's got a movie. He's got the show on Vegas and all that.
Yeah.
So don't get it twisted. But I think it's more just the music that we had never heard before. I don't think they took the time to tighten that up the way this one. I don't know. This one is just beyond.
I mean, it's great, and it takes you back. And like you said that Michael Jackson, that ultimate set that was 5 CDs.
Yeah. Just
think about what I'm about to say. This Sign of the Times thing, just on its own, it has more music on just that one period, which is just astounding. And it's, once again, I'm not trying to, because you can say that about any artist. It's kind of hard for them to reach or kind of compete with that output that Prince was able to put. And you think about from 78 until I think about 92 or 93, maybe 94, 95.
Just the amount of music. Yeah.
He put out at least one major album, CD, whatever you want to call it, going back to For You in 78 until I think I think I can name a major release album from every year from 78 all the way to Emancipation in 97, man. That's like 20 straight years of having at least one. Now you maybe quibble with if that greatest hits thing, you include that. But think about it. You got For You in 1978. You got Prince 1979. You got Dirty Minds 1980. You got Controversy 81. You got 1999 and 82. Well, that's a double CD, so you got 82 and 83 kind of. You got Purple Rain in 84. You got Around the World in a Day in 85. You got Parade, or whatever you're going to call that, 86. Sign of the Times 87. The one where he's butt naked on the album cover.
Sexy.
Love Sexy.
Sexy.
In 88. You got Bat Dance in 90, or the Batman soundtrack, or whatever you want to call that thing. And then you got the Graffiti Bridge in 90. You got Diamonds and Pearls in 91. You got maybe is 92? Did he come out with 90? Yeah, Sexy MF one, whatever the name of that thing was. Wasn't that 92?
Graffiti Bridge?
No, that was 90 was Graffiti Bridge. 91 was Diamonds and Pearls. The one that came out with Sexy MF in 7. It was the symbol. It was just a symbol. That's right. And then 93 is when it came out with the hits, the big hits and B-side thing.
Yeah, that's when he left the music.
Yeah, I think that's when he was trying to. He was
already gone.
Yeah, but
matter of fact, the first album after he left was Come, which
that was his last one. That was his kiss off. That was 94. And then 95 he came out with the Gold Experience. 96 was Chaos and Disorder, and then 97 was Emancipation. I mean, he literally came out with a new release album for 20 years straight for the most part.
That's crazy.
You will never see that again. And a lot of those are double albums.
And there's that many songs inside of the vault.
Oh, wait a minute. I forgot. The Black Album came out because remember he pushed
there's a lot of albums you skipped over. But
major releases, but that got out there like in 94 or something.
Yeah, I mean, there's Black, there's Gold.
Oh, the White Album too. I mean,
there's White. Yeah, I mean, there's so many albums.
And then there's the MPG stuff. Remember, like Gold,
which I just
never
got into.
There's one song in there that I really like.
Yeah.
And then there was the Madhouse. Madhouse, what 8 and 16.
So there was 16, and there's actually a 24. But we're waiting for that. And honestly, I think that's going to be the next box set. If I have any kind of idea of what they're going to do to surprise us next, I want Madhouse. I so want Madhouse.
Yeah, well, see, that was when Eric Leeds and Atlanta Bliss. I mean that was some good stuff. I mean, I got 8 and 16. I don't have 24. I don't know why.
No, 24 you can't get. Matter of fact, some of the tracks for 24 went to Eric Leeds' album, which I looked for the other day. I can't find it anywhere. There is an album though, but I can't find it.
I was so glad when I found the White Album. I forget how much I paid for that. So I have the original Black Album and the original White Album. I don't have the other two that you mentioned.
He's got a gold and a Versace.
I don't have any of those. I do have the stuff he did, the Shaka Khan album, the Larry Graham album.
Mavis.
I don't think I have the Mavis one.
I know he did that.
Yeah, she was on.
I mean, it all gets watered down when somebody else is doing it. I don't know.
Right. Well, but see, there was.
I mean, not that there's not great. I mean, I think Round and Round by Tevin Campbell is
that was a great song. Oh, Tevin Campbell had an album where Prince did like
a lot of
three of the one was that the Hush, or the one that was kind of like why is the little kid singing this? He had that Paris song where Uncle Sam. That was my favorite Tevin Prince song, Uncle Sam. That had really good
meaning. I have to look that up.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was off of Tevin Campbell. Tevin Campbell did an album that was like half Babyface and LaFace, and then kind of a quarter of Prince.
Yeah, Sherry says Michael didn't have the same type of team Prince did or does have, which is interesting because
she's right. It's obvious. Let's put it like this.
I mean, but the thing is, it's been hodgepodge together to become a great team. And I mentioned this before, Sherry, that I used to be very angry about Prince not leaving a will. I was very angry when he first died because I was like, we're never going to hear these songs. It's going to be locked up in, probate forever. And I guess he knew what he was doing, because if he had left a will, we probably wouldn't hear this the way we're hearing it, because he was such a control freak, and that's definitely been proven out by hearing all the stories of how much he wanted to control everything. And I don't think he would have let enough of his control go to allow the untouched tracks be heard like this. And just to hear, what's that one that I love so much on the new one where he's counting off and then they start playing? You know which one I'm talking about? I'll look it up.
It's but like one of 90,
one of the 96. But it's because I'm like, if you get this, there's certain songs you definitely want to peep out.
I'm gonna try to find the.
No, it's not.
Power
Fantastic. Power Fantastic.
Yeah.
It's live in the studio. He counts it off. He tells everybody to play what they want, and then he's going to get them to shush, and then they go into the song. He's calling out the songs, whether they go to the bridge or, let it play and breathe. He's calling it out. He's doing scratch vocals, and this is the most amazing vocals I've ever heard in scratch. It's insane. This man, he's wow.
Well, wow. Where he got a lot of that, like his band leadership and the organ. He's a huge Miles Davis fan. And one of the things that he learned from Miles is how to do that. How do you completely hold a band? How do you lead a band, even right in real time? I love those videos on YouTube where it's a rehearsal video, and you see him. He's either sitting at the piano, playing, and he's barking out. All right, bring it down a half octave. All right, bass. I mean, it's cool to see somebody have so much control over what they are doing.
Okay, I'll give it those. There's two. It's him and James.
James did it, but
James Brown was killing it, bro.
Yeah, but James did it. He was at like this level, whereas Prince was at the details level of, you know, James would say, I want it on the one. Somehow my Alexa is going off from there.
You're like, she's stupid. That's why.
But
that's
you know,
another show.
But James is, you know, on the one, you know, I want to feel it.
Yes.
Whereas Prince is telling you exactly what to do, where to go. And that's what I'm talking. That is that's a Miles Davis thing. Because Miles was classically trained, but then he was also trained by Charlie Parker and Dizzy Gillespie. And he brought all of that into the mix, and then he wrote and he directed and he created, brought in the people, the talent that he wanted, and then put them together. And then because he knew the capabilities of these folks, he said, "All right, here's the canvas, here's, you know, the guideline. Do whatever it is."
No, I disagree.
I'm talking about Miles.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say Prince did not do that.
No.
Matter of fact, Eric Leeds said that he had all of his horn spots on keyboard. He'd already had those laid out, and he just had him play it because he couldn't blow a horn. He's like, if he could have blown a horn, he would have did all those too.
Yeah, that was for sure.
Sherry says, remember the interview, or she says, remember the View interview. He talked about the music in the vault and others not releasing it, or not him releasing it. I remember he did that on Larry King's interview, and Larry King had asked him about, you know, that music and, well, would we ever hear that music? And Prince said the same thing. He says, you'll probably hear it, but not from me, you know? And so I think at some level he knew that if it was ever to get out, he couldn't control it, you know? But yeah, I remember that. I'm going to go back and watch the View interview. I remember being on there.
The thing I remember about the View interview was when Sherry scared Prince off the set by saying, "I want to make love to you" or something.
Yeah.
and my man got up.
He was like, "Oh no." He's like, "I'm a Christian now. I can't be doing that."
No, he just didn't want.
That's what used to kill me. He never did, guys. I never heard him do "Darling Nikki" after the Purple Rain tour. He never did that song live. He would tease it. He would play the first few, you know, bars of it, and then he would never let he'd be like, "Oh, I can't do that," or he'd make some kind of reference. Then he'd play something else, but he would always nod to it because it was such a great song.
Oh, or
Sherry said she doesn't blame her. I mean, so both you Sherrys.
Well, yeah, or songs that he would change the lyrics and play. Because he could play the original lyrics. Yeah.
You know, Sex was okay, but Darling Nikki and Masturbation, I don't think he was ready.
No, quite honestly, that's fine. You know, like if you listen to the Black Album, the reason that he didn't release it is because he thought it was too dark. He thought it was
pretty dark.
Well, but look, it was also pretty funky too, because
that's another thing, yeah.
Rock Hard in a Funky Place, that jam is still kicking to this day. I love that song. But,
so have you had a chance to ingest a lot of this stuff?
Not yet. Not for me. No, I spent my time reading the book.
The liner notes.
Yeah. And reading I love to hear the interviews. And I love what Lenny Kravitz wrote about, you know, about Prince compared to it's almost like you can't compare him to anybody else because
no, you can't, because
of he was music. He didn't play music. He literally was. He created and operated on all levels of music production that I don't think anybody else ever did or ever will be as good as some of the folks are and great at some of the aspects of it. There's nobody who comprehensively covers it like this guy did.
No, I mean, that's why he was my guy. I mean, from day one, when I heard that album, I was like, my first time with Prince was Dirty Mind. You know, that's when I got on the Prince bandwagon. I mean, I heard Soft and Wet and what was the other one before that? Or Soft and Wet was first, and then there was another.
Well, I Want to Be Your Lover.
I Want to Be Your Lover was the next one. And I mean, those were cool, but I didn't go buy the albums and listen to them. But Dirty Mind, I heard freaking Uptown, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go grab this album, and I was hooked and listened to the entire thing front to back, and that became my thing. Then I went back and got the other two, you know. But
yeah, I know the first time I remember hearing Prince before I even knew who he was "I Want to Be Your Lover." I was like, man, that is such a catchy. And then I saw him on a American Bandstand. I was like, that's the dude that did that. Damn, you know.
Well, because I didn't know if he was a guy or a girl when it was. Yeah,
because he had that flowing hair thing going.
No, I mean just when I heard the track, I didn't know if he was a guy or a girl.
I didn't know what it is either. I just said, man, that sounds.
You know, and that was interesting. I was listening to the interview today, or the podcast, and they talk about Camille. You know, and I just, you know, Camille was always an interesting character voice to me. And hearing his engineer talk about a lot of the stuff that he did, actually, there was going to be an album. He did an entire album of Camille work.
Yeah.
And
well, you remember Shockadelica and all? I mean,
right, Shockadelica and Housequake.
Yeah.
So he did actually in the podcast. They list all the tracks and pretty much almost all of them, but also the one that's on 1999 box set. The what's that one called? Is a Camille song that he did for. I can't even remember the dude's name from the time.
Mars Day.
No.
Simone, Andre Simone.
No.
Des Dickerson.
From the time.
Oh, from the time.
Jesse. He gave it to Jesse.
Yeah, it was supposed to be Jesse's song. The name of it. Damn, what's the name? Because he ended up doing a song called the same thing.
You know. But at any rate, all of those were supposed to be on a Camille album. What I found interesting, though, is that whoever they were interviewing at the time, she said, you know, when he or she or they, as the kids say today, and I was like, oh, damn, that was the first time a they actually resonated with me, you know, because I hear people that are gender non-binary and all that, and I'm like, I don't totally get it. As gay as I am, I don't necessarily, you know, understand. But when they were talking about him doing these songs in the Camille voice, I was like, because it was just a whole different persona for him, you know. He definitely embodied male and female.
Yeah. I mean, well, if I was your girlfriend, I mean, just listen to that song.
Well, you know, here's the thing. Susan said that he was jealous of the fact that he never could be as close to her as her twin sister could.
Yeah, Wendy.
Because Wendy and Susanna. Susanna and are twins. And so that song was really about how he felt about their relationship and how he wished he could be that close to her. So I don't know if that's true, but, you know, it sounded about right.
It does when you think of the lyrics of the song. I mean,
yeah. When I started listening, it made so much more sense, you know, if I was your girlfriend. But yes, I think that is another Camille song too, really.
Oh, that is definitely a Camille song.
That's definitely a Camille song. It was on that album too.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another one, you know.
Well, let me ask you, what is your favorite song off of Sign of the Times, if you could choose one? There's so many.
The original or the rework?
Let's just stick with the original for right now.
Okay, so on the original, you know, it's probably going to be. I mean, that's so hard, you know, because I love Dorothy Parker, right? Because of the uniqueness of what it was, but also, what's the one? Strange Relationship. I really like Strange Relationship.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
And Adore.
Oh, of course, Adore is up there.
Showstopper.
And the Cross is one of my favorites. The one about there comes a time in every man's life where he gets tired of fooling around. What is that? The name of that song? Oh, Forever in My Life. That is a beautiful song.
That's a great song too. There's so many. Love Strange Relationship. Ha. All right, Sherry.
Yeah, that's well. She loves every Prince song. Well, that's
I know, but it's like your baby. Who you? So
Gotta Be a Beautiful Night is nice. And that didn't get a lot of play, but I like that. And of course, Never Take the Place of Your Man. I like that.
Yeah.
The one I got tired of was You Got the Look. I got
of
tired
course.
of that damn song.
They played that to death.
Starfish and Coffee. I mean, that's an interesting song.
I mean, just the whole album.
Yeah. Now, ironically, Sign of the Times, the song that wouldn't probably even make my top 8 from the.
Really?
It's okay, but
here's what's happened to me is now after hearing it over and over again, I'm loving it again. Oh,
I didn't say I didn't like it. I'm just saying compared to the other songs we just talked about, I'm like, man, I like those so much more now.
So here's my favorite new song though that I can't get out of my head. When you play it, you listen to it, you probably won't even dig it the first time, but it'll stick in your head. Is Big Tall Wall.
Yeah, I'll keep that in mind.
It's a very good song. I enjoy that song.
Now, here's the thing: the song that, after hearing what it got replaced for Adore, I would have loved to have had Crucial on Sign of the Times along with Adore, because Crucial is just an awesome song.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Can you imagine if that came and then it led right into Adore after that? Oh my! I mean, I love that song. And there's another song. It was off of I forget movie soundtrack, but Good Love. Man, I love that song. He killed that song, and it was such a different. You could tell it was made in that same time period. There was so much creativity that came out of that time period for him.
It's insane.
It's just unbelievable.
I'm just going through. I'm just reading through them. Some of them. It's just.
And then he remember that Taja Seville, Love Is Contagious. That was around that same time too. I love that song, although her other parts of the album aren't that great.
Garbage.
But Love Is Contagious, even her off key, Love Is Contagious. I mean, that was just.
Oh my God! Stop the madness.
So yeah, man. For me, it could either come down to Adore or Bow to Dorothy Parker. Although I love pretty much every song. I love it because it was just raw.
Dude, the it remix over here, I'm going crazy on.
I gotta check that out.
Actually, it's not a remix, but it's in the concert. He plays it when they just play the opening bars over and over again while they're going through the changes, and I'm just jamming off of that.
The music in it is just killer.
I was, here's the crazy thing about this album. Let me just tell you guys, there was only 4 singles off of this album, which is ridiculous. Sign of the Times, If I Was Your Girlfriend, You Got the Look, and I Can Never Take the Place of Your Man.
Only 4 out of really?
Yes.
That's
only 4 singles from Sign of the Times.
That is unbelievable.
That's unbelievable. Because every song is so dope. It's crazy.
Do you consider Sign of the Times to be your favorite Prince album? Or I know it's hard to pick between Children, but
no, you know what? Here's the thing.
It's always been my favorite.
It is, yes. I can't say it's not, especially now, with the remaster, yes, but I have a affinity for Dirty Mind because I can just listen to that thing back to back, no skips, crazy. I mean, I could turn that up in my car and have a damn concert. I love the disco licks that are in that. It's so disco, and rock and rollish. So those two, that blend for me is just amazing.
No, I love that. When You Are Mine is just so. I love that song. It's so. And then you talk about Head, and you talk about Uptown. I mean, it's all good. I mean,
it's all good.
But Party Up. Oh yeah, how you get Party Up,
dude? You know what I'm saying?
But then that's followed up by Controversy, and that has Private Joy. Oh man,
I have a very big problem with Controversy.
What's that?
It's only 8 tracks.
Yeah, it is rather short.
I mean,
but wait, you got some of the funkiest Let's Work
yes,
and
yes,
Private Joy, and of course Controversy. I mean,
yes. I mean, literally, I brought that thing home. I'm like, is this it? And that's why I was so appreciative for 1999 because he gave me double because I was like really just.
But think about it. He gave you double, and then he had 12-inch B-sides that were just as good as anything on the album. Yeah. That's what killed me about Prince. He would put out a single, and I'm trying to think of the best A-side, B-side has to be Let's Go Crazy. That's the main thing, and that was the number one song, and everybody was killed. But then you flip it over, and what is this Erotic City thing about? You put that on, and it's like, what? You know, it was amazing. He had all that stuff on his album, and he couldn't even fit on Erotic City. I mean, what the hell? I was like, you got to be kidding me.
And what's your favorite B-side?
Oh my God. Ooh, well, Erotic City is up there.
Sherry, what's your favorite B-side?
It may come between Erotic City, She's Always in My Hair, or Why Don't You Call Me Anymore. Those three. Yeah. I can't pick. Man.
You gotta pick one.
Ugh. All right, so
Sherry, you just killed me.
That's a good song too. Last night I had another Lonely Christmas. I mean, that was awesome. But in 17 days, the guitar at the beginning of 17 days.
17 days.
Man, when he hit that guitar,
what was on the other side? It was
that was When Doves Cry.
No,
When Doves Cry. That was When Doves Cry.
Was it When Doves Cry? I never listened to it after that.
Damn.
I was tired of it, but 17 days really.
When he hit that guitar run, oh man, I was gone I just kept rewinding that part. Yeah, that was just so good. But then She's Always in My Hair was on the B-side to Raspberry Beret, which that's one of my top 5 Prince songs of all time. So that comment and She's Always in My Hair, I would say.
Oh, that's the one. That's the one I never listened to afterwards.
Raspberry Beret?
I never listened to it after I listened to She's Always in My Hair. Yeah. You know how, because you remember how 45s were, you could only play one side in a stack, right? So if I'm putting it on the stack, it would always go for that versus. It's like, which one am I going to do? I got to do She's Always in My Hair.
So it's either the combination of Raspberry Beret and She's Always in My Hair, or Let's Go Crazy, Erotic City. And it's really hard for me to choose what combination A side, B side between those two.
I love Prince with long hair. Who didn't love Prince with long hair?
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention to the hair, but that's
whatever. Whatever.
I'm just saying. I was into the music. I didn't like the wardrobe.
You know what? Honestly, I'm going to tell you when Prince did. What's it? It's from the Parade album. The only video.
Alphabet Street.
The Parade album.
Oh, okay. All right.
The
Girls and Boys
about being your man. One of my favorite tracks too.
About being your man.
Yeah, shit.
Another Lover Hole in Your Head.
Another Lover Hole in Your Head.
Yeah,
that video when he's in the suit and short hair. That was the Prince look for me.
Well, he was also in Girls and Boys with that same look too, and that was a video.
Was it?
Yeah,
I gotta check that video out again.
And that is one of the funky. Girls and Boys is so.
Girls and Boys is fantastic.
Tell you what, Parade in general may be his most underrated. Now this is kind of hard because there's a lot of underrated. That one was underrated. Graffiti Bridge
songs.
Bridge was underrated.
No, bitch.
Yes, it was. Look, I can name 2 songs.
No, it was not underrated. Yes, there were some great songs.
Oh,
Joy and Repetition. Great.
And The Question of You.
Question of You. Fantastic. Amazing. The rest of that album.
No, not really. There's some other.
There's a couple.
The song he did with.
Have you been able to watch that movie
I don't like watching anything other than Purple Rain is trash for the most part. Because Parade, terrible
Oh
movie,
my gosh.
great soundtrack, terrible movie. Graffiti
Oh my
Bridge,
God.
the same. Sign of the Times doesn't count because that was a concert.
No, that doesn't count.
That don't count. So no, outside of Purple Rain,
Yeah.
the man couldn't do it all. I mean, it wouldn't be fair if he was able to do all of it and then make great movies too.
Yes, he did. I was there, Sherry. I was losing my mind when I heard the bass line. First, when I got there, me and Sherry talking about that concert. I can't remember her name. Tamar. Her name was Tamar, right? Yeah. And the Tamar concert, he played bass through the entire concert. And I was just like, oh, man, this is so fantastic to get to hear him on the bass. You never get to hear him on the bass. And then she goes off. Encore comes on. He does Another Lover Hole in Your Head. Never heard him do that song live all the times. And it was the only song he performed. Fantastic. I was just floored.
That's a great song.
So good.
Oh, look,
so good.
I'm going back. When you think of Girls and Boys, you think of Mountains.
Mountains, yeah.
You think of Do You Lie? I love that little.
Oh man, I love Do You Lie.
Yeah, sometimes
do you lie?
Yeah, sometimes it goes in April. I mean, that was a classic. That classic.
It was. It's an overlooked album.
Absolutely.
Because of the movie.
The movie was just
terrible. And it's got Kiss on it. I mean, give me a break.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of overlooked the obvious there.
Yeah, I mean, it's like one of his biggest number one songs.
Yep, that's true.
Do you know he only had 5 number one songs?
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. But,
ridiculous. Yeah. Just mishandled by Warner Brothers. He was being a dick a lot of times too.
Yeah, you could say that too. I mean,
he's like, no, I'm not doing a fucking video. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, because if you said there was only 4 single releases from Sign of the Times, I mean, come on. Yeah. That's just stupid.
But here's the thing. Sign of the Times was delivered to him to Warner Brothers as a 3-disc Crystal Ball album.
Yeah.
That's what it was called, right? And they told him that they wanted him to narrow it down to 1 album.
Yeah.
And they negotiated into 2. And he wasn't really all that happy about the 2. Right. So I'm guessing that was part of the tension already. I think that was when Warner and him probably fell out in general.
Well, let's face it, he was really over flooding the market when you think about
like you said, every
year, double albums, and then having his own side groups put out stuff, and it was him. I mean, there will never be anything like this guy again. He did things that I don't even think people could comprehend now that he was able to do, because he wrote everything and played the instruments on everything.
Pretty much, not real.
Well, he arranged everything.
He owned everything. Because literally, when you hear, especially on this album, and they haven't really dug deep into what happened to the revolution. And I think part of that had to do with him breaking up with his girlfriend, and all of that happening at the same time. But a lot of these tracks, you can tell, are Wendy and Lisa are in the background. A lot of these tracks. Matter of fact, the actual album was done with the revolution.
Yeah, part of it was,
And he put the band together after that to do the tour. So this is really a revolution album.
Well, it's saying like every.
Well, okay. So
Prince,
he had opened up and let them do some keyboard work and vocal.
Right. Just like in the Purple Rain, the movie, when he announces that Purple Rain was, this is a song by Wendy and Lisa. I mean, so he gave them, you could tell that they had influence. How could people that play around you for years, how could you not take in some of the things that they're doing?
Yeah.
But
let's face it. Yeah, he was arranging and writing everything.
Yeah,
he would pick something up, say, "Oh, I like that. I'm gonna throw that in," and then become part of something else. Well, I could go all day.
Think about it. We've really stayed between 80 85, 86 to 88, 89. We didn't really cover a whole lot of, we talked to certain spots, but really.
We tried to stay in the sign of the times.
Right.
I try to keep it,
somewhat. I'll go back, like Sheila E.'s best stuff was, to me at least, was in that period where, and he was in, like, when you think of A Love Bazaar, that is an awesome song. I just love that song. And the interplay between Prince and Sheila E. on that song was right in that same time period of what we just talked about. It's just astounding what he was able to accomplish in even that short part of his career. We'll never see another four. The only thing that's comparable to me is Stevie Wonder from like 71 to 74, 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Like when you have
Absolutely.
Talking Book, fulfilling his first finale, Inner Vision, Songs of the Key of Life, that is the only thing that kind of compares to what Prince did in a 4 or 5 year. But then you look at, all right, well, those are very comparable, but Prince was doing stuff for other people. Prince was doing stuff under pseudonyms. He was doing jazz records. I mean, he was touring. He was doing movies. I mean, it's crazy.
He wanted to hire Tony as his band.
They were good. That would have been good.
And they were like, no, thank you.
I can understand that too. They had their own, dreams.
And then he wanted to hire, what was the other Minneapolis band?
Other Minneapolis band.
Yeah.
Oh, not Mint Condition.
Yeah, Mint Condition. Yep.
I can see that. Well, they came from the Tree, though. They came from Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, right?
Yeah, he liked them too.
They were great.
I think he did approach Tony to be his backup.
He knew he had a good eye for talent.
He did. But, if you got inside of Prince's world, he was going to control it.
Yeah, that's the thing you're going to have to give up.
I don't think they were ready for that,
You couldn't have your own vision, unfortunately.
No, not really. It wasn't going to happen, bro. Wasn't going to happen. All right, I got to get out of here.
All righty, this is fun.
We're definitely going to come back. Sherry, be on the lookout. We're going to tap you. We want you in here. Good. So we'll let you give you a heads up so you can bring your Right On magazine. I mean, I can't believe some of the stuff she's got. It's absolutely fantastic.
Awesome. Absolutely.
All right.
Cool.
Until next time.
Yeah.
Make sure you listen to some of those tracks, man. I want to hear what your favorite is.
Will do.
All right. And Sherry said, yep, she's down. Fabulous, guys. All right. Until next time, we're out of here. Say goodbye, Brent.
Goodbye, Brent.